So behind me is the path that I cleared end of last week, and that's a lot easier to walk on now. You can fit both feet on it for a start. Cottage wise, it's going to have a repaint. Ooh. And the table and chairs there is going to have a repaint over the next few weeks. I'm going to use the path. We had a frost last night, quite a hard frost, but it hasn't affected the camellia. It's just looking amazing. I do plan to probably take it off about there this year. I'm still trying to get it to go that way, so it looks more of a compact bush, and just reduce the height of it. It's the same as what I did with these shrubs last year. Crocus lawn's taken a bit of a bashing from the weather, the same as the poor daffodils. It's probably going to pour again in just a moment, so I'm going to dash in and do a bit of baking this afternoon. Hello and welcome to the Tudor Cottage Diaries. This episode will just be a few jobs from around the garden. So one is clearing the path, the flagstone path which is behind me in the back garden. The second project is to get the rose pillar garden underway, which is going to be massive for the front garden and give it a whole new magical feel, a little bit more seclusion in the garden, and it's adding more roses to the garden. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with that. The other project that's happening is happening in the shed over there, which is the building of the units for the bathroom. My husband's building those. We have now decided to go for a bath rather than a shower. We've gone for a roll top bath. We're picking that up this afternoon. All very exciting. We've got the tiles, we have the basin, which is basically a copper pan from France that we're going to use as a basin. Yeah, so projects are underway. It's pretty busy here. It's an afternoon. We are on holiday. We have got a bonfire down the bottom of the garden. He's now currently building the units for the bathroom. So the bathroom is all systems go. When we came and viewed this cottage in February 2020, little did we know there was going to be a lockdown. There wasn't a path here. The path we discovered underneath the lawn, and every now and then we have to dig it out again. And you can see I've started here, and I'm going to bring myself down here. You can see how much it's overgrown. Look how tiny this slab looks. I'm going to try and... It's not one of the largest. far. It's quite satisfying doing it. That's it. Let me do the final reveal. Oh, where did that all go? Oh my god. There we go.
And final reveal.
Ta-da-da-da.
And
You can see on the wet patches how small these slabs have become under the grass. This happens every year, so, and then I've done this far and now I've got to go on these ones. Anyway, so this is where I'm planning to have the pillar rose garden. So going through this border here to offer up some privacy from the road. It's not a busy road, we are a tiny village, but yes, we tend to spend every evening out here because of the way that the sun rises and sets across this garden. Yeah, let me just walk you through it. So this part of the garden is southwesterly facing. The sun sets over there, and if I do a complete about turn, and it rises there. So the sun goes across the sky like it is now, and it sets there. So this is normally in quite a lot of sun. There are a few roses in here. These are the roses that were in the Hot Rose Hospital that have made their way out here. There's one there, for instance, one there, and one there. But that's it really in the front garden. There's not many roses. So the idea is, you can hear how wet it is. This pillar we put in to support the festoons, which are rubbish. So I'm never buying solar lights again because it's a waste of plastic. Just infuriating. And I'm going to have the pillars going through with the climbing roses on it. Anyway, let me lay it out. So I'm going to be using the Blue Circle Postcrete. It's ready to use and it sets in 5 to 10 minutes, and all you need to do is dig the hole, add the post, add this stuff and add water. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with that. That was muddier and more horrible than expected.
I can see the other side.
This is hard work, but definitely necessary if I want to thread rope through these holes. Yeah, need a cup of tea. Well, it's not a real failure. I've just had to bring in the strength to dig the holes again and get the postcrete in. I think I'll carry the watering can, so at least that way I feel like I've done something towards this, other than digging these holes 2 times over and yeah, it not being very successful. The husband is here and he's going to help me make the rose garden. How much are you adding? A couple of pints?
I mean, I think it's enough.
Oh, you need to do a blockage. Damn it. That's it. So that's it, all the posts have had their postcrete, so they are going to be firmly fixed into the ground now. Add the ropes. I'm going to plant the roses this afternoon so that they're in, just in case we get a cold snap of weather, and I just don't want them being in pots if that happens. It's a lot of work. I've got to take them through to the greenhouse just to prevent the pots from freezing over. And then yeah, we're going to add the ropes, and yeah, the rose project is nearly done. Just finials to add onto the top here, and then yeah, done. Really excited. The first rose is in and it's going to be trained up this pole, and the way you grow roses up pillars is to take the long stems that go back to the base, and I'm going to entwine them counter and clockwise around this pole, creating as many layers as possible with laterals on it, and then this is where all the flowers will grow from, and so hopefully you'll have a whole column of white roses. It feels like every time I press the start on the video, I get a cockerel crowing. I just wanted to show you the pillars and the roses in situ, so you can see what we've done last week. Unfortunately, with the weather, it has done nothing but rain since we've done the roses. So I haven't been able to film until today. I'm a little bit wet now because I've just been for a dog walk. But yeah, I'll take you over and I'll show you what they look like. So here they are. And we're starting off with a white climbing rose, which is named White Climbing Rose. We have the rope and we've tied a knot in the middle of the ropes, and the roses will crawl along here. Here we have a aptly named climber. It's a pink climber called Pink Climber. And then we have Pink Dream underplant in it. This side is the Pink Dream, which is a shrub rose, and the climber is this side. The pillars are still going to have knobs on the top of them. So close to this coming out. The third pillar along, we have got a climbing lady, which is the pink rose again, but it's more of a paler pink. And then this didn't have a label, so I am hoping it's nothing like a bright red rose, because that will be a bit garish out here. And we're going to leave this loose bit here, tie it in, and the rose will climb up that, and they spiral clockwise and anti-clockwise. The azalea is so close to coming out. Bit of colour there. So the primroses are doing really well. There was a massive clump of privet hedge here, which we've managed to dig out, and then it had that awful kings and queens plant, which is, I don't know if I've got any to show you. If I do, I will put the picture in now. Just gets huge. Right, climbing. We've got the Climbing Rose Sunrise, which is an ombre of pinks, almost peach in the middle. This rose, I don't remember the colour of it. It's a pre-existing rose, so that's been underplanted. This all needs a really good weed, as you can see. This is another of those aptly named climbing roses, Pink Climber. And then the patio rose is Designer Sunset, which is slightly ombre. And then first pillar has another one of those white climbers called White Climber. Yeah, I'm really, really pleased with that. This is the newest bit of rope here, which was 2 meters, which was less than £3 in B&Q. The rest of the rope we've used for Halloween events and was in the chicken run. Yeah, I think once the knobs are on the top, then they're going to look amazing. Whilst it's not raining, we'll do a quick look. Cyclamen are still flowering. Yeah, still lots of cyclamen under there. The chickens are so mucky, bless them. Everything's had a bit of a batter from the weather. I'm just visiting our local Tide mill. There's a few around in the local area, but this is our most local one. And I'm going to pick up some flour because I need to bake some more cakes and some bread today. So I'm just going to pop into the shop and grab those. And local traffic is free to cross, but anyone else that wants to cross this body of water has to pay a toll. And we've just walked along here from our house, literally to pick up the bread. Because of the weather, I've finished the plot tour really quickly, and I'm now going to make a coffee and walnut cake. The coffee is cooling in there. Smells incredible. I don't even drink coffee, but coffee walnut is my favourite. Beating the sugar and the butter together. So I'm now getting ready to add homegrown walnuts and home eggs. These are the eggs from my hens. So I've got 2 of the Polish hens and 2 of the Suffolk hens in there. Flour from my store cupboard, butter from my store cupboard, and a bit of baking powder. And like I said, this is going to make a beautiful coffee and walnut cake. All mixed and ready to go in the oven. Fingers crossed it comes out not burnt. These here are my grandmother's tins, Skyline from England. I don't know how old they are. My grandmother's been dead some 20 years, if not more. And this was her recipe. It is a good home recipe. The only adaptation to this is I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of vinegar to the recipe, because that's what my grandmother used to do, and she made the best coffee and walnut cake in the world. My mother tries to emulate her, and each time, even though they are gorgeous, I say not quite there yet, and then I get another one. But anyway, this is my first time making this recipe. There's my tins. Right, here we go.
This is the newest part of the building. It dates back to the 1930s.
And now my favourite part. And now the chef's. Although I think I've got it all over my face. Oh well. Oh my goodness. It's absolutely drenching out there. But there's the daffodils ready for afternoon tea. I've just put a thick layer of the Bon Maman jam. I always get it in these huge jars from Morrison's, and you can use the jars then, reuse them or recycle them. I've got this one is just cooling, ready for this layer of coffee icing, and then I've got a coffee icing for the top, and then some more of the walnuts from the garden to go on the top and decorate it. Well, here's the finished cake. It's a little bit wonky, but I'm sure it's going to taste delicious. And yeah, afternoon tea time. Just while we're out here, we have had an arborist come in and they have taken a few limbs off the oak tree which were causing damage to the thatch. So constantly dripping water in the same place does cause damage to the thatch. So we have spoken to an arborist. The trees are protected, and so they agreed to take off 3 branches, which has been done, and actually it has helped with the light levels in the back garden as well. Please like and subscribe, it really helps me grow this channel. Add anything in the comments that you want to see. I try and reply to each and every one of them. But this is the cottage at the end of February 2024.